I love my job. It's challenging, but it's really satisfying.
We truly are living the American dream. It's out there, and it's at Walmart.
Great citizenship also means that we're going to support the communities that we're in through our charities and the organizations that exist there.
You know, time I was born, counting Hoover, I have lived under about 36% of the presidents of the United States. You think about that. Hoover and Roosevelt, Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton, Senior Bush, and Junior Bush. So there's 13 presidents out of 43 that I've lived under. We came here in 1959 and started the IGA store, which is Independent Grocers. We had approximately 150 employees, and on these 150 employees, the full-time employees had, and that was a great number of them, had full coverage on insurance, health insurance. We also had a 401k pension plan that they really appreciated.
You know, in small family-owned businesses, you do become attached to your employees, and they're very important to you.
We always tried to have a Christmas party or a Christmas dinner where all the employees came and we'd close the stores.
Yeah, and every day after school I'd get off the bus and run up to the store because we lived a couple of blocks up from it.
The baler that we use here is a baler that was left over from when we closed down the stores in the late 90s.
I don't believe it's fair the way that Walmart can come in with the funding that they get to put their sewers, infrastructure, road, parking signals, ingress, egress, etc. in compared to what the independent retailer gets. No, I don't believe it's fair.
Well, certainly it's not fair, and I think he at one time did go talk to them in Cameron and say, if we're going to run a business here, can you help us? Well, no, they couldn't do that.
I don't think it's fair to help them to build roads for their business, and at the same time, the store open puts others out of business. The competition that we're up against really hasn't caused the problem as much as the competition being helped by our government from one level to the other. They get all the breaks.
Walmart's coming in and running us out. We know you helped them or you gave them tax abatements. Will you give us a tax abatement? And no, they couldn't do that. So the county nor the city would do that. And of course, everybody knew it was unfair, but what can you do about it? Maybe, however, there's nothing you can do about it.
On sewer, water, any of that stuff, as far as I know, we never received one dime from the city, county, or any place like that.
If you tell them that you don't want them in your city limits, there's been nothing to stop them from buying 5 acres out here outside the city limits, plopping their building down, hooking up to rural water, and having all the negative effects on the city and none of the positive effects.
It was a supercenter in Cameron. It took about 40% of our business in Cameron, and about a third of our business here in Hamilton. In Brookville, it took over 50% of our business just overnight.
It was hard to make those payments with a wholesaler having problems themselves. So everything just kind of culminated in everybody having problems. To pay the employees, well, you used cash from the inventory, and then you didn't have any inventory.
In the process of all this, I had to borrow money to put in the stores and with the farm as collateral.
It went down from there, So we had no recourse but to just close them up. And it was 40 years of hard work that seemed to disappear all at once. It wasn't very easy thing to adjust to, but.
And now you can see Irvin's still saddened a lot. It certainly wasn't what he planned. But we had a lot of good times, so, you know, he did a lot of things. He knows lots of people, and they respect him, and so I don't know what else you're going to get out of life.
On to close that store, and that was a Sunday morning, and I went down to open, and just...
Yeah, I remember coming down the stairs and sat down on the couch, and Mom told me, and I started crying. It was like a family member. We were there every day, and it was a big part of our life. It was probably my favorite place. I liked being there.
They wanted it for me, and I love them to death for it. But you know, they wanted it for me and my family.
And if Walmart still gains ground and have a monopoly, where will our families and where will our children be, and what will they have to do to work and to be competitive? And in 10 years that the spiral is going, it could be very, very serious for the nation. It might happen that way now, and I hope it don't for our children's sake, but it could be real serious, be a revolution. I won't say it'd be a civil war, but it'd be a revolution. And I don't think anybody wants that.
I'm Kim Ursetta, and I'm a 4th and 5th grade bilingual teacher in Denver, Colorado, in the Denver Public Schools at Newland Elementary School. And Walmart received subsidies of about $1.7 million. And with that $1.7 million, our Denver metropolitan area, that could have kept the 3 schools that we just closed down this spring open.
I'm Monica Jefferson. I'm a speech-language pathologist, and I work for Special School District of St. Louis County. Walmart receives over $31 million in subsidy from the Missouri government.
Cathedral City made a $1.8 million investment, but because of Walmart's lies and not stepping up to the plate with their commitments, we're short on policemen, we're short on firemen, we've eliminated the recreation division of the city. We're not able to provide the services to our residents that they need and deserve. And we're going to have lives hanging in the balance because we're not going to be able to provide these services.
My name is Charles Haase. I've been a 4th grade teacher in Washington State for many years. When I think of the $1 million that Walmart received for its distribution center and what we could have done there for students, it's outrageous.
Taking revenue away from our community that will have a direct impact on our ability to continue to provide some level of service.
In Illinois, Walmart has received $100 million in subsidies, and that has affected our school systems. That money could go into our school systems to rehire all of those support teachers that we need back, those support personnel. We could have our school psychologists back, our social workers back, our counselors back. We could pick up, and these programs are being cut because Walmart has received subsidies.
Now, what we're facing currently is that Walmart and Sam's Club, which are the same people, for all intents and purposes, have, in fact, for business purposes, decided that they are going to leave our community.
And not moving 20 miles away, they were moving 2 miles away.
Not very far away. In fact, one is being built within, right on the property line of our city, which we still will not receive any benefit from.
Just outside the city limits. So just as we were about to begin to receive 100% of the sales tax revenue from that deal, we found out that we'd been the chums. You end up with a vacant building of the size that most businesses can't fill. So you have a huge building that sits vacant for months and years.
That's why at Walmart, we give back $5 every second to the communities we serve throughout the holidays and all year long. To make the season and every day a little brighter.